And the stream is up.
All right. So, yeah, welcome back. Last time you guys had finished scaling the tower and I won't say claiming it, but at the very least clearing it out and making it semi-safe, as safe as a tower in the middle of Drakkenheim can be. Um, and you were able to all level up to level 8. Harry, I believe I took care of Hudson leveling up, but if you want to check your character sheet just to make sure it says level 8. Um, Also, if you guys wanted, you can take a long rest here. You're far above the mist, and there's no immediate danger. Um, and during said long rest, it seemed like you all had a bunch you maybe wanted to discuss. So I am going to leave it all to you to describe how you're spending this bit of downtime.
So, did you say we're at the top of the tower?
Yes, would you like me to
Okay.
move you guys to that
Yeah, maybe just for
um,
some scene setting.
ambiance academy tower? We'll move you guys back down to the director's office. How about that? And why did I not move myself there? That would have been helpful. I'm gonna delete you guys off of it and put you back on so that
Blind.
your characters will reflect your current HP and level and everything.
Oh, right.
Also, now that you guys aren't in a huge rush, you also can peruse the library a little more leisurely, peruse the director's office a little more leisurely. Um,
Since we did a level up, do we do a long rest too to reset spells and everything, or
you have that option. That's what I'm
oh, okay.
offering you guys now. If you want to do a long rest, you can. But like I said, I know there's things you wanted to take time to research while you're here, things that um, you wanted to discuss,
Mhm.
all kinds of fun things.
Yes.
And if you guys want to do a long rest while you do that, up to you all.
We can have a slumber party and talk about our feelings.
You gonna go first? What's your favorite fear?
Well, do we want to do short rest or long rest?
A long rest would help me out with getting my rages back.
Yeah, see, I'm almost out of spells.
Will we have another contamination check if we do a long rest?
No, you guys are high enough above
Okay.
the mists right now.
Yeah, it seems like there's no reason not to go for a long rest then.
Bull, you would take the director's chair. Man,
You're so right, I will.
I can't even push you out of it. You're too big.
Just sit in his lap and annoy him until he gets up, like any person does with their dog.
No, I could just summon my dog and be in his lap.
Exactly.
All right. Um,
You get
so as we sort of set up camp here, um, so Finch, so Colin, you had said Finch also was kind of like we need to talk about some stuff, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we kind of lay out camp in here. Um, somehow get some food going. Feel like starting a fire in here might open a door to hell or something, but
We do have that fireball scroll.
all right. So I guess maybe to sort of kick off the conversation, we can pull out the 3 items in question. The hat of disguise, the inscrutable staff, and the portrait of. Have you said what your lady's name is? Is it Cat?
I've always referred to her as Cat, yeah. Well, I won't say always. I think I've let slip the full name a couple times.
So looking at these, we kind of lay the facts out as we know them. Because Bull, you've talked openly about your debt, right?
You know, it's not a secret that I'm in a lot of debt.
Well, and some
the fact I to
NPCs
give
have
this-
talked about it too, right?
Yeah.
Like we had a really, really early encounter where they like showed your axe off to you.
Yeah, they kind of made
yeah.
it obvious that they had something over him.
Oh,
So
which is then weird because like they're gonna trade. I gotta trade this staff for an. Yeah, let me get the axe back with this staff traded.
I mean, your axe was certainly not as good as this staff, but it's better than your current axe.
well, and this is the problem is between the value of the items themselves on top of their importance. Because Finch, you told us that these artifacts are going to be important to getting to the castle, right?
Right.
So when we combine that, a staff of power that opens the path to the castle is worth infinitely
Helps.
more.
Helps open a path to the castle.
Right,
Does
but
not do it on its own.
but also, Bull told us it's not just this that she wants. She wants all the artifacts to clear his debt. Wasn't that the arrangement?
She wants quite a few things.
I mean, if they're all of this caliber, that's completely ridiculous. Like, basically, you'd be handing her the entire city.
She did give you a list of things, Bull. I don't know if you remember them all or not, but if you want to share them with the group, you can. You have your character should have that information.
Oh no, I look at the list often since you sent it to me as the private message. I look at the list often and I think about how to complete the list.
Gotcha. Yeah, you are more than welcome to share those things if you want to. And
Yeah.
and if you do, I can potentially answer questions.
Yeah, so she pretty much just kind of wants control of the city. She wants like the Lord Commander's badge. So that one's. I hadn't thought about how to get that one yet. Elias Drexel, we kind of gotta. He's still alive.
Yeah. So essentially, you can certainly continue to give off a list of these things, but the things she wants, they do have power, varying levels of power, but more so they're symbols of power in the city, usually of some sort of rank, um, like the Lord Commander's badge. The inscrutable staff would have been held by the leader of the Amethyst of this particular tower of the Amethyst Academy, not of the academy as a whole, and other things like that. A lot
There's the
of
Steward's seal.
Well, and
which
does
we got from the
Finch
clock tower.
does Finch know the list of items?
Yeah.
So like, can you verify like she's asking for the keys to the castle?
Yeah.
So I think our starting point here is that Bull, this is a completely unrealistic expectation that she's laid before you. Like this is someone asking for the entire city of Drakkenheim to be handed to her to pay off your specific debt.
I just want my axe back.
Well, that brings us to this other question. So we found these two items as we were we found these two items in Finch's Lady Love's room, and at this point Nock has like pulled out the hat of disguise and is looking at it and says a certain theory has come to me seeing these items together. And he looks at the picture of this cat and her sister and this hat of disguise and the matching one that the queen wears. And Finch still with us?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna look at Finch and say, what are the odds that that the queen is Cat's sister?
Probably pretty high. Well, actually, probably not pretty high, because I saw that her sister. You say the queen's sister?
What do you think is the connection between your lady friend and the queen, that she has the matching the matching article to this hat of disguise that I'm holding that was found in
Definitely,
your lady friend's room?
definitely not the sister, because the sister disappeared in this accident years and years ago. And I would not think that that's her comeback. Um, but certainly a good chance that she knows something.
Um, so CJ, did you decide if we have a way of knowing the other thing?
I'm sure someone does. I don't know if you do.
That is important.
So I guess if you're wanting to put feelers out, um, you could ask, bring to the discussion why you've ascertained that the queen wants the keys to Drakkenheim, so to speak, or at least to get to the castle. But so far, none of you have really asked the question of why. Not that any of you would know.
I think
But
I'd like to ask you, but like we never really talked about this after we met with the queen, like each individually. Like, what did she ask of everybody? Did she ask the same thing of everybody?
Probably not, because she gave me a list, a to-do list.
so for a few of you, she gave all of you the same to-do list because she wanted to play you against each other in a way while still having you be the same. But for some of you who may have had other connections with her or other stronger storylines that were being played into, she may have had more specific things.
Mm.
So it
The
strikes
queen
me
has been
that,
trying to trick us all.
well, and it
Like if
strikes
she
me
wanted to
that,
have a very specific conversation with, say, Hudson, and she took him to the side and had a conversation, but not didn't have one with everyone else, that would have been weird. So she made sure that everyone got a individual conversation.
so it strikes me that this points to a vulnerability of the queens and possibly a way for us to resolve some of our issues. Um, if the queen has this hat of disguise, it seems very likely that she is somehow connected to your lady friend. So
Before you go too deep in, I would also like to point out that you guys did give her one of these items already.
Yeah,
The
but it's
thing you
just the
found
steward seal.
Yeah. Was it the steward seal? I forget what you gave her.
Yes. It
But
was,
you
No.
gave
it
her
was the
something.
clock tower.
no, I thought we still had that. I thought we gave her the thing from the cathedral or whatever.
That's what I thought you gave her as well.
Yeah, I wasn't
Um,
sure if we did or anything yet, but so we
Um,
found it was the
and
steward seal that we found in the clock tower.
I don't know who have it, if everyone can make a history check, I guess.
This is gonna be a tough one for me.
Oh, Amnar there.
How did I know things?
Everybody, a couple people got above 15. That's pretty good for this. So when Bull started talking about the list of things, um, one of the things listed was the Spy Master Signet, which would be typically be a ring of sorts. Um, and those of you who rolled above a 15 would recognize that she was wearing something very similar to that already. So it's likely that she already has two of these things.
If she already
Yeah.
has two of these things, then at the very least, if we ever want to get into the castle, we're gonna need her on our side, friendly at least.
Well, or
Um,
the alternative.
well, that if you what'd you roll, Finch? A 10? Would you remember this from being a long time? And Knock, you rolled a 13. You were a noble. I'll ask this of you, Knock. Do you think Caspia would have similar security measures to Drakkenheim? Do you think that it would be like a worldwide sort of these are things that are done, or do you think that each country would have something a little different?
I think maybe it's not a universal thing, but I think maybe it's something he's seen before. Because Caspia
Okay.
has all those different clans and families running around. And so maybe like his family knows and hasn't told another family they know that like these three artifacts open their ancestral tomb which conceals the blah blah blah.
Okay, so that's fair. You would have an idea then that all these different items of power or status or whatever you want to call it, the defenses of the castle recognize them. And the more you have, the less likely it is the castle will defend against you. But one thing to note is that one person cannot have all of them. Only one person can hold, or I should say, attune to each one. So there's 5 of you. So 5 of you could attune to those and have a pretty good shot of, fending off the castle. But if you were to get all of them, it would be much easier. Like in theory, you could go to the castle right now, but it would probably not end well for you. But the more of these items you can collect, the more allies you can make, who you can give more of these things to, the easier it may be.
So I think what this circles us back around to, though, is we either need the queen on our side or out of our way. I don't think that there is a neutral, happy ending either for Bull's debt or any of our other objectives with her doing her own thing. But we have an in. There's a connection here. There is something about her. So, Finch, you genuinely have no idea what connection she might have to this cat.
I mean, I'm curious to know anything that she does about it.
Can I make it like can we get like an insight check there, maybe, just to be sure?
Sure.
Nox paranoia is in high gear.
Both of you roll privately.
Persuasion against it.
Yeah, so both of you are going to roll privately to me. Golby, or Knock, I should say. You roll insight. Finch, you will roll. Let's see. Animal hand. You'll roll either deception or investigation, history, nature, perception, performance, persuasion, or persuasion, I guess. Deception if you're lying, persuasion if you're telling the truth. That seems like the 2 most appropriate things.
I'm rolling one of my not great stats against one of his good stats.
So Finch did roll higher, but it was pretty close.
Can I use noble confidence?
Do you have it?
I don't know. We're pretty loosey goosey about it.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess. If you've got it, is there anything that indicates that you would be doing it?
No, I won't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, he did roll higher, but it wasn't by a lot. You get the sense that Finch is telling the truth mostly, but is maybe holding something back.
Anybody else want to insight check that?
At this point, I kind of feel like either Finch is X. Cat is the queen, or it's the sister, and we don't know if Finch angered the family dynamic here. So
Well, so above table, my theory is that it is in fact the sister trying to, because Cat disappeared in like they both as best we can recall, they both disappeared.
No,
So,
I mean, did you want to explain what you?
yeah, I was just going to give a brief summary. According to what Finch has told you, a long time ago, more than 15 years, um, Finch was working as a guard for the Amethyst Academy, um, being given certain privileges or whatever. And
That's what
one
the
of the
kids are calling it
people,
these days.
yeah. And while there, he fell in love with a girl, Kat, who had a sister. Um, the one day they were showing him a spell, which, based off of what you guys discovered throughout this tower, was likely some sort of summoning spell. Um, Something went terribly wrong, and the sister was dragged to hell or somewhere else, based on what you guys have seen with demons coming out of the summoning circles and whatnot. Um, the sister was basically gone. Um, Eldrick Runeweaver, who was high up in this particular tower, decided to blame Finch for it, um, for a variety of reasons that Finch has not gone into. I'm not sure Finch totally knows all the reasons, but Finch got the blame and went to jail. Eventually, a short time after that, the meteor fell, all that fun stuff, and eventually Finch was let out of jail and decided to come try to find his lady love. Does that about cover it, Finch?
Yeah.
So, okay. So then is our stronger theory that it's actually Kat herself?
I mean, I definitely want to have a conversation with her about that.
Well, this is our conundrum. Again, we need her on our side or we need her out of the way. That doesn't necessarily have to mean killing her. That could just mean removing her from this position of influence.
what's the other? We have a great reconnection of lovers.
Well, our problem, though, is that for some reason or another, she's motivated to take over the entire city.
Dang, Finch, you found a busybody to fall in love with. So what we're hearing is, since we are her champion, if we just helped her take over the city, then we can put ourselves in some great positions of power in the city. As long as we can stop the civil order from destroying it.
Well, and if she is, if her goal is to rescue her sister, not to take over the city in and of itself, we have much more room to reconcile all these different goals and factions. But if it's she has to be the Queen of Drakkenheim or nothing, then we have a real problem.
And that's one thing we haven't really talked about is like, say we were able to find a cure for all this delirium sickness stuff, and heal the city. Like, who would step in and run it? I have a feeling that some people within the group may have strong opinions on that. And I kind of suspect that Nock actually has some very strong opinions on that.
Here's the question. Is there a world in which all of our goals for the city can align? So I look at Amnar. Amnar, you need a cure for contamination and transformation. Bull, you need to be relieved of your debt to the Queen. Hudson, honestly, I'm kind of not sure what your deal is.
Collecting fear, obviously.
Dude, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
That's why we call you Doc Hudson, because we already killed your first character.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
this is Doppelganger Hudson. Hudson 2.
We download each other's memories.
So above board, when starting this campaign, Hudson's goal was to investigate the cult of the Falling Fire and visit some religious locations, monuments or whatever. Um, and I think maybe he decided he didn't really care for that because he's never shown any interest in in the cult when they've shown up. So I'm not sure.
Also start off wanting to also be a good healer and practice healing on random people.
Yeah, well, you have been doing that.
So, sort of taking that for what it is, I'll look at Finch and say, is your goal to find Kat, to rescue her sister, or both?
I would say both. Because I think there's not a world where I can find Kat and not find the sister and have everything like nicely resolved and be able to be with Kat without finding the sister. Like Mitch's whole thing is kind of that he has to find the sister in order to like fix the thing that's happened so long ago.
So, Nock is going to take an item out of his inventory, out of one of his bags, that this entire time has been labeled ring, comma, signet, parentheses, fake, ... question mark. I think that we can align all of our goals here. I think that there's a way to resolve these debts, to put all the possible resources towards a cure for contamination, to put all possible resources towards recovering this sister. So I'm going to tell you all a story. In a certain Caspian noble house, there was a very bright young woman who excelled in researching magical artifacts, of which her house had some very notable examples. And in the years leading up to the fall of Drakkenheim, she was sent here to work with the royal family in the Amethyst Academy to basically compare and contrast relics, to research, to try to understand the making of these powerful items and all the things that are possible with them. Her point of contact with the royal family happened to be the prince, also a young man. And this prince of the von Kessel family and this young woman fell in love and were engaged and were actually married, not knowing that the city was about to fall. While the prince resolved some of the social and political ramifications in the city, the young woman stayed in a countryside house far outside of the city. And then the city fell. And that would have been the end of the story, except that this young woman was pregnant. That is my sister, Kia, and that is the story of my nephew, Heir. Yes, I've been retrieving some of our relics that have been lost in the city. But somewhere, there are the documents that show that my nephew is the heir of Drakkenheim. And I'm going to do whatever I have to come back with those. And all the things that it represents. That's what the Queen and I talked about. She's a little bit better at digging up information than a lot of other folks in the city. And she wants me to stop looking. But our time here in the tower has led me to suspect that she doesn't want the city for its own sake. I think whoever is behind this, and he twirls the hat of disguise, I think whoever is underneath one of these somehow wants to use the city for a different purpose. And as long as that doesn't destroy the city or require her to be the reigning monarch of Drakkenheim, I think there might be a way to work this all out.
Nock, do you want to roll a insight check?
Knock roll an insight check, or do you want to roll an insight check?
For Nock.
What is Knock trying to get insight into? Or are
Finch
you
is about
trying
to.
to
Finch is about to
do you
stab
mean
him.
do you mean Finch wants to roll an insight check into what Knock is saying?
No.
Do you want to text me what you want him to notice or check? Because I'm not sure what we can have him roll it, certainly, but I don't know what he might notice from this. It was him telling the story.
I think it's going to be his reaction to the story.
Oh, like gauging Finch's facial expressions or something. That's why it's not perception, because yeah.
Actually, instead of texting me, what if we just go to another channel and you can say it out loud?
Sure.
Okay, we're back, and I understand what Colin was getting at. So yes, Knock, if you would like to roll insight, and we're gonna have Colin roll
Something.
performance.
We're putting a lot of weight on what is not one of my best skills.
Well, you got lucky. You got real lucky. You rolled twice what he rolled. You rolled double what he rolled.
Yikes.
So while you're telling this story, you see Finch growing a little more uncomfortable the longer the story goes on. The more you say, the more guilty he looks. And when you start talking specifically about your sister and the prince getting married, you see him. He probably doesn't even realize that he's doing this, but he sort of puts his hand on his pocket and doesn't move it.
So Nock has really just put himself out there with uh, sort of the biggest thing he has going on in this whole world. Um, so if he sees a sign of sketchiness from Finch, I don't think he has it walk. I think just like bonus action summons a new shadow behind Finch and says, "So Finch, any thoughts?"
I think that this story is one that I may already know. And I may have already found some of what you're looking for. I'll pull out a piece of paper from my pocket. It's a picture. A picture showing Leonard with Kia at their wedding.
So Nock's going to stare very, very intensely at that picture, and he's just going to say very calmly, "So Finch, do you think we're going to be able to work together?"
I think we're going to have to. And I'll hand you the picture.
Nock is like visibly relieved to have this. I think that he puts it away, but he does it in a very confusing way, such that it's not clear like where it went in his belongings. After he stares at it for a minute, and he kind of lets out a sort of like tense breath, and is going to very noticeably like move the shadow a few paces away. So we've put it on the table. I think there's a world where all of our goals line up. Are we ready to commit to chasing after that world?
Oh, I'm ready to commit. I mean, I got nothing else to lose. I lost my axe.
Amnar?
What?
That tracks.
Or the bug on the floor. Sorry, I was chasing it.
Are you on board with us all sort of working together to try to meet the goals that we have?
Yes. I think I would appreciate that.
Hudson?
I'm totally down. More conflicts means more people I can heal. More people I heal means, I mean,
Or fear?
Well, and certainly if Nock wants to hand the city to his nephew, we've got to stop the Silver Order from burning it down, which means we've got to at least a little bit investigate and or protect the falling fire for now. So your goal is definitely very doable in this framework. Then he looks at Finch and he says, "So Finch, how are we going to rescue this sister?"
Well, I have a theory about that, and I'm not sure you're gonna like it.
Full on frontal assault. To mobilize the rat army.
Yes, we need our mutant rats.
Didn't we lose control of the mutant rats?
I don't think
It's
so.
strenuous.
I
It's
say-
strenuous. Okay.
I mean, we've never been really
Yeah.
like in control. I don't know. Yeah, that's
I know
debatable.
we've been in control, but I thought we lost some control
We
once they got.
well, there was the witch lady or whatever, and yeah, I can't remember if she was
Oh,
still causing problems or not.
don't you worry. There's plenty going on with the ratlings. Things have been happening. Don't worry about
Of
it.
course there is.
Or maybe I should say worry a lot about it. I don't know.
Worry
The
a
thing-
little or a lot. I mean, whatever you feel like doing,
the ratlings have not been they've not been just laying around.
right?
Things have been
Yeah,
happening.
they've
I
got their
mean,
stuff.
honestly, we just gotta send the ratlings back at the Civil Order to get some more Griffin chicken, and
Mhm.
they'll kind of sort each other out eventually. I think.
You'd think, yeah.
I mean, what's the biggest problem? The people we already want to fight figure out that we're sending rats at them, and then they want to come fight us. I mean, it's inevitable we're going to fight each other. Just how strong will they be if we just keep sending rats at them? Because we keep tricking rats until we are unable to trick rats, and we have to kill the rats. I got a level 5 fireball, and I'm really itching to use it.
Well, and so to bring us back, so Finch, what's your working plan right now to rescue the sister?
Well, so we mentioned those the 6 artifacts needed to get into the castle. There's a 7th artifact that's in the castle. That artifact, if used, could grant the user a wish.
And now you know about the wish, Colby.
Yes,
Everyone
so
knows about the wish.
this is-
Colby knew about it out of character, but I wasn't sure if his character knew about it. So
I'm pretty sure he didn't. So this is the missing piece. So to cast the wish, they just have to use the artifact not to be the monarch in perpetuity, right?
Yeah, basically the artifact is the crown of Westamar. And so if you sit on the throne and use the crown to grant a wish, the wish would be to bring back the sister.
So is this like a Dragon Ball Z kind of thing or whatever?
well, there
Ye-
could be up to 3 wishes.
Oh,
Um, the
instead of just one.
the recharge it can hold up to 3 charges,
Oh,
and it recharges. It gains 1 charge every 15 years. So the meteor fell 15 years ago. So there is at least 1 charge that would grant a wish. There could be up to 2 more.
So I think what reconciles all of this very easily is that Nock has no problem handing over a wish, even if it's the only wish, as long as he can secure the throne for his nephew. So we can use the wish. We can use the wish to save the sister. And that resolves why we believe the queen wants the throne. Despite some of her sort of alluding otherwise.
The other question that comes up for me is, so you talking about the nephew taking the throne, does that mean that Leonard is dead, or what happened to Leonard? Wouldn't Leonard be technically next in line after the king? And I guess technically we don't even know what happened to the king.
Well, based on precedent, The king is probably a terrible mutant.
If anything, like the queen.
CJ, here's another one where I don't remember.
Let's go to a private channel and you can just ask me.
Okay. Okay. So the queen straight up told me Leonard's alive, right?
Yes.
Okay.
She told you he was alive and safe, and she could take you to him. I'm not sure if you believed her or not, but she did in fact say those words.
Well, didn't we also figure out though that Leonard wasn't he physically in the room? Like, didn't we see
In-
him at one point?
Um,
Because I feel like it's
physically
like I
in
feel like
what room?
with the queen, didn't we see him and he like
No.
doesn't have his memory? Did I hallucinate that?
He was definitely never in the room with the queen. That I can remember. She may have told you that he doesn't have his memory. I'm not sure. And you guys have definitely run across him, but none of you recognized him, or even knew to be looking out for him or anything like that. And you would have been the only one who may have noticed in passing, and
He's
you were never
Jupiter's.
close to him.
Is he Jupiter's yes man?
No,
Okay, that's good
no,
because I think that
nothing to
isn't
do
that
with
guy
Jupiter.
dead?
Yeah, no, he's not dead.
Okay.
He might be dead, but the last you saw him, he wasn't dead. But no, it had nothing to do with Jupiter. You guys have come across him at least once, but you never got close enough to him to even do any kind of check against him.
Okay. So but I
Um,
functionally don't know that he's alive. The queen says he is.
the Queen says he is.
Why do I think he doesn't have his memory?
She may have told you that. I don't
Okay.
remember. And me as a me as a DM to you as a player, that is an accurate statement.
Okay.
He does not have his memory.
Okay. So that's I'm not making that up. That is probably something she told me. Because it
Yeah,
was a
or
really
I may have.
weird it was a really weirdly specific thing for me to
Well, I may have told you out of character, like when we were up talking at the hotel or something. I don't know. Um, but yes, he. You can infer from that that he is in fact alive, but just has no memory.
Okay, cool. All right. Heading
All
back.
right, back to the main chat.
Yep. So the queen, as she was trying to convince me to abandon my goal, claimed that Leonard is alive somewhere. To be honest, alive and somewhere has generally not been a good combination in Drakkenheim. By that same definition, the queen was alive and somewhere. Honestly, I don't mind if, as long as Leonard is not a horrible monster, uh, either in body, mind, or spirit, um, and he is ready to resume his, uh, if not emotional, at least legal responsibilities to his family. I don't mind him reclaiming the throne. But again, it is contingent on him not being an octopus monster or somehow Oscar Yoren or something.
Well, I appreciate you opening up about all that because that's obviously that sort of sensitive information in the wrong hands can put your nephew in significant danger from somebody who would be seeking the throne.
Well, and just a reminder, because I don't know if it's come up lately, the story that you all have heard, the surface level story from Knock, was that he was hired by someone to come into the city and recover artifacts. And so he's been acting as a guide, as a cover towards recovering artifacts. Scratching down a level lower, he might have quote unquote admitted to being a bastard of his family who was sent here to recover artifacts. And we are now down to the actual truth that he is, in fact, a member of this family, and this is why he's here.
One person that I've been suspecting is trying to gain the throne is Jupiter Jones. Does this have something to do with why you've been, I guess, hiding from him or hesitant to interact with Jupiter?
So, Jupiter at best has only a sort of tertiary claim. But honestly, I'm not as worried about Jupiter himself. The man is a golden retriever. He is deeply annoying, but I have
And also a statue. You
Yes.
guys have not healed him.
also that.
He's kind of out of the way.
Crap.
More
Forgot about
importantly,
him.
though, he is not a schemer or a scoundrel. I was less concerned about him individually knowing, as the fact that if he knew, almost certainly the wrong people were going to find out very quickly that I was here, which would draw attention and, as you said, potentially put Aerie in a dangerous situation. With the hat of disguise, he just says with this, but he twirls the hat. I'll be able to conceal my presence a bit easier in the city. Ultimately, I think Jupiter's goal is not the throne of Drakkenheim, but the throne of Caspia. While my family might be interested in that, and certainly control of Drakkenheim would make that much easier for them. Personally, I don't much care either way. My family has plenty of power and influence as it is. I just need to make sure that Tia and Aerie are okay.
I think with the understandably the way you've been hesitant to share that type of information with us in order to protect your nephew. Similarly, I've been protecting identities as well. And it's probably time that you knew that Kat is Katarina von Kessel, Princess of Drakkenheim.
And that is why the pictures looked familiar to you when you were in there, but you couldn't place them. You saw statues of Kat and her sister a couple times throughout your adventures when you see the royal family.
So just to remind us, royal family members. There's the king, the queen, Leonard, Katarina. Is there one more?
The sister, Liza.
Oh, the sister, of course.
Yep, the king, the queen, and 3 children. And throughout your adventures, I'm not going to make you roll history checks because Finch could fill you in, but also you probably would have heard yourself. Years before the meteor hit, there were rumors amongst the noble houses that the girls were sick and they stopped making appearances places. They were never seen in public anywhere. And that was a story to, I wouldn't say save face, because it's not a bad thing to have magicians in your family, to have people with magic. But in the history of this world, when people with magic are rulers, things, very bad things happen. And it's why the Edicts of Lumen exist. Um, so if it were to get out that the royal family was having children with powers, they might start to think that maybe Leonard had powers too, and revolt or start wars. He didn't. He never showed signs of that. But you can see why they would be concerned with that information getting out. So they sent well, they didn't have a choice. The Amethyst Academy came and claimed them and took them to teach them. And they put the story out that they were sick so that no one would think no one would think to come and attack Drakkenheim, essentially.
Well, that makes this a lot more screwed up then, because that means that if we think if it's possible Katarina is the queen, then she has been keeping her brother, the rightful heir, presumably on ice somewhere. Like if she
I mean, if
knows,
he's alive and healthy, then maybe not. If he's just going around doing his business, you never know.
so I guess that rapidly goes up our list. Then I feel like getting Leonard, figuring out where Leonard is and what he's doing, has rapidly moved up our list.
And with these thoughts in mind, these theories and whatnot, um, this one I will have everyone roll history checks for because it happened in game. So we'll see who remembers.
Is he Aldor the Immense?
God, I wish, but no.
That would be phenomenal.
Um, so let's see, 12. Oh, Hudson definitely remembers. Wait. Oh, he has bless guidance. Okay. We won't
Oh,
count that.
never take that off.
That's okay. That's okay. We just won't count it. Um, but you definitely remember anyway. Um, with these theories floating around in mind, and you all rolled above a 10. This wasn't a secret. You all saw it happen. Um, when you met with the queen the second time and revealed that the queen of Drakkenheim had been killed, she, the queen of thieves, did become rather upset. Um, Visibly so. That was not something she had expected to hear, and it bothered her. That's it. Just just letting you guys remember.
Such an ominous thing that is never said in real life. Just letting you guys remember.
Just want to remind you of this little tidbit from so long ago.
Okay.
Stingless out here.
Find Leonard.
So, the succession of the throne then would be the king, Leonard, then your nephew. Was it Harry?
Airy.
Harry.
Short for
yeah.
Erebus. So yeah, it'd be the king if they're still alive. Leonard, Erebus, and then I mean, presumably, I'm assuming there can be a queen of Drakkenheim. It would be Kat and then her
Yeah.
sister.
Yeah, but whereas a Lumen,
Yeah,
the girls, Kat and Eliza, wouldn't really be eligible.
I mean, that doesn't mean they can't. It,
it
just
means
means
they
that
Drakkenheim will
just means
instantly go
that-
to war with the whole world.
I mean, probably.
So I think it would be in our interest to find Leonard before we interact with the queen again. Try to figure out what's going on with him.
I mean, that's a good point. Like, what is our next step? Really, like that was our quest, was to get this stack.
Well, I think it's also MacGuffin time. We need all these artifacts,
Yeah,
or as many as we
I'm
can
down
lay our
with that.
hands on.
I did write down the quest to fix the clock tower because we got whatever that piece was of the clock tower, and knowing that the clock tower is broken,
Just
just kind of curious what happened with that.
another thing that I should probably point out. You should remember that the Silver Order is on their way to burn the city down. Now that it seems like you guys want
to help us
now
with
that it seems like you guys want to find items and maybe make it to the castle, letting that happen might not be the best of things.
So that might need to be our next most urgent thing, is to figure that out. It might give us an excuse to get back in with the hooded lanterns to potentially. So I think we finally have enough leverage. I think I won't say finally. We might have enough leverage to separate the commander from Yorin. Possibly. If he's ultimately most loyal to the royal family and the future of the city, then we might be able to sort of lever our way in there, ally with them to deal with the Silver Order. Hopefully get to kill Oscar
Be really
Yorin.
careful about what information you're sharing with him. Like, we just don't want to start spreading rumors about, oh, there's a nephew who's alive, and
Well, and that would also be an advantage to finding Leonard.
And also remember, his badge is one of the artifacts.
Right. So he is getting him on our
He
side.
could be another good ally.
Yeah. That would put us up to 3 MacGuffins and the queen at, we think, 2.
You know for sure 2.
Yeah.
That potentially more, for sure 2.
And she's not necessarily like, if we can get her to slow down, and if she has the connections we think she has, the queen is also not necessarily an adversary, but we need to convince her of that. I mean, as an aside, so there's Kat, the sister. Is there another candidate that it makes sense to be the queen?
Another candidate, what?
Sorry, is she the Queen of Thieves?
Yeah,
her
that,
title?
I'm assuming that's who you're talking about, the Queen
Yeah.
of Thieves.
Okay. So the Queen of Thieves, if she has a
Also,
matching,
while you guys discuss this, I'm going to go to the restroom. I'll be
Okay.
right back.
so if she has that matching hat of disguise, it makes the most sense that she would be either Cat, the sister who is back somehow, or is there a third or fourth candidate that could be under the hat if it's not one of those? It would be wild if the queen was Leonard.
Hmm. Hmm.
That would certainly be a way of obfuscating his identity.
I'm back.
I mean, we can try to find more information, but I'm having trouble imagining it being someone either than those two. It might not help us right this second, but I also wonder if um, fourth level. So is fifth level spells is level 9, right?
I have no idea. Let's see if I can bring up a wizard thing.
My only thought is that with one more level, Hudson might be able to cast a spell to tell us definitively who the Queen of Thieves is.
Wizards do get a 5th level spell at 9, so I'm assuming all classes do.
So at level 4, he already has divination, but at level 5, he would pick up commune, which lets him ask his deity yes or no questions and get a response, or cast legend lore. Either of which might answer our question.
But y'all have to level up first.
Yeah. But in the immediacy,
Which I don't know if we have time for.
um, we'll call it a possibility. So most immediate goal. Be great to find Leonard first. But we have no idea where Leonard. not directly.
You could go ask the queen.
Well, we were trying to avoid her till we find Leonard. So telling
I
her we're
know.
looking.
I was kidding.
Um, I hate to say it, but I feel like our next stop should be the Hooded Lantern.
The Hooded Lantern's on the way to talk to the Silver Order.
Well, potentially to gear up the Hooded Lanterns to go. Well, we don't know how the peace talks went, do we? Because we didn't follow whatever it is, Elric to the Silver Order, right?
That is correct.
So we could go find out what happened with that. I assume it did not resolve the issue, or CJ would not be telling us about it. We come out and everything's just happy and peaceful. All the rat men are going to school. Going to be PRNs.
Yeah, the rat men are. They're
Definitely not okay.
I mean, it depends on who you're asking. They're feeling pretty good. They're in a war with the fish people.
Okay, so to Hooded Lanterns, to maybe try and figure out something about the Silver Order, possibly to get the MacGuffin, possibly to kill Oscar Yorn if we get a chance, maybe to get the Lord Commander on our side.
I still think we might need Oscar Yorn for developing cures and whatnot. He seems to be the best equipped to do that, sketchy as he might be, just for Aaron's sake.
I just
Or
feel like
Amar's
he's
sake.
definitely going to betray us every time. Insert a culturally appropriate version of Lucy pulling the football.
I just feel like he'll do it. He'll find the cure the quickest, although not the most ethically.
I mean, my suspicion is he is still going to turn himself into a monster and try to take over the city. I don't see his path leading some other direction ultimately. I'm willing to put up with him and try to work it out if we can use him to get a cure, but
Yeah, after that, he's lost his usefulness.
well, and I think along the way he will be looking at how to get rid of us for sure. Okay, but I think that gives us a vague idea of where to go. So we're looking for Leonard. We're looking for more MacGuffins. We want to stop the city from being burned down. The only MacGuffin we know of for sure is the one that the Lord Commander has right now, or the ones the Queen has. But I don't think that we can. I don't think we can take on the Queen directly if we have to at this time.
Actually, I saw some of the other artifacts.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Said I may actually have some leads on some of the other artifacts.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say Bull should have a couple leads as well, at the very least.
I kind of appreciate that she seemed to trust me less than everyone else.
She knew who you were. She knew what you wanted, and she thought she knew how to get to you, but you seemed to be unbothered, which isn't a bad thing. But
He's very curious what she asked of you.
to give up.
That's
She
it. Just give up.
she says she wants the throne, but knowing what I know now and what we suspect, I think she wants the wish. But she doesn't want to say that for the attention it might draw. But I think that gap that's our in. She can't reasonably hold the throne regardless. So as long as her sister is returned to her, and even better, if it stays in the family.
Anyway, that seems to have gotten most of everything out into the open.
And that means we
Mostly,
level up again, right?
no, no.
This is real
But
emotional growth, which is a kind of
yeah,
experience.
yeah. You have no idea how hard it was for me to reveal things to the group as a whole without revealing things to the group as a whole. Um, very had to be very careful with my words, and I may have slipped up a few times, but hopefully not too bad.
I
And
mean,
there's still stuff out there that isn't fully known yet, but you guys have good suspicions, good spots to start from, things like that. Um, I don't have to keep things in as much anymore, but yeah, it is 10 o'clock for me. I'm sorry that this had no action in it, but I hope the story details were a lot of fun for everyone. A lot of reveals and whatnot. Um, next week, uh, next week's not Thanksgiving. The week after is Thanksgiving, right?
correct.
Okay, so I'm going to have to be off both of those Thursdays. So I won't be able to play again until the week after Thanksgiving. I'm sorry for that delay. But when we come back, you'll, because I'm assuming that everyone will not be able to play on Thanksgiving. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Not for
probably.
that day.
Yeah, because so yeah, we'll come back the week after Thanksgiving. Um, sorry for that extra week of delay, but when we do that, you guys will be making your way towards the hooded lanterns. That's where we sit right now.
Yep.
Okay. Just wanting to clarify.
Yeah, I'll be out next week as well for a hunting season. So
I mean, I guess we should discuss like what is the conversation going to be with Elias Drexel then? Like, what's our angle to get him to
give me your
cooperate
damn badge.
without like totally endangering Aerie?
Well, I mean, what if we? So without
Just saying we have
addressing,
like reason to suspect that Leonard is alive, and
I was gonna say we
are
put it
interested
on
in helping
Leonard.
him.
We tell him that we're trying to find Leonard, um, and our goal. I mean, we can even say it. We're trying to find Leonard, and our goal is to put, the. We can even say the royal lineage, back on the throne of Drakkenheim, and we have legitimate ways of making that happen. I think if we are very careful about how we say it, that might be enough to at least have him consider us allies.
Maybe, but also we haven't really done a whole lot to gain his trust. We haven't. I don't think he particularly likes us.
I mean, we did save his kids.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, we did that, but he was not super appreciative.
I mean, I think
He
that
was. He was very appreciative. He just he couldn't.
I could always have more kids.
No, not. They are his children, but he's also the commander of essentially an army, and
His kids.
his kids disobeyed orders, and he can't like go easy on his children, especially in front of the rest of the army. Um, that that would not that wouldn't go over well.
Well, again, I think that we can tell him very honestly, like, our goals line up with yours, even more so than you thought, because we have some legitimate leads on restoring the royal lineage to the throne.
Yeah, and maybe that offer to help with stopping the Silver Order. Combination of the two things might be enough.
Yeah.
Maybe we might want to tell him about his rat problem too.
Hey, do not turn on my rats.
But you know they're bound to turn on us. Okay, it just depends on who wants to turn on who first. I think we turn on the rats first by tricking them to go throw their lives at the Civil Order to slow them down.
Just remind them who's boss every now and then.
I mean, that's something that that Nock has not forgotten about, but wanted to deal with all this other stuff first. There is still this demon floating around that both the Ratlings and Finch seem to have a connection to. So that's an entirely different conversation we have to have at some point.
Yeah, I'm still doing that. That's all coming
well,
to me.
Well, since we're in the realm of this discussion, remember that essentially a portal to hell was opened, and someone was dragged there, and yeah, who knows what sort of creature may have that sister in their possession.
Yeah, that's been scaring me.
Well, it's something we don't want to come back and bite us at the wrong time. Like finding out, like, oh, the Ratlings finally got their 666th Fishman sacrifice, and now they're going to summon Ilfamirix into the middle of the city. And Ilfamirix is a 30-foot tall archdemon who's going to stomp the city flat.
Oh, don't worry. I'll take the enlarged potion and I'll turn into like a 20-foot tall barbarian and I'll fight him.
Well, CJ, there is your campaign finale.
You're not totally far off from one of the possibilities.
The meteor is a Trask.
No, the what?
I said the meteor is a Trask.
Maybe.
I was gonna say you got way too quiet just then.
It certainly might be, and yeah, there's a bunch of different endings. I say a bunch. There's a handful of different endings, all depending on what you guys decide to follow with. Yeah, there's certainly demon lords of kinds. There is a Tarask of sorts. There's a lot of different things that large large, creepy, evil things happening in this city. Yeah. Yeah.
Wah.
There's some undead. I don't know if undead is the right word. Lich certainly isn't the right word, but there's 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 things. There are things.
I think my fear, increasingly above table, is that when the sister was dragged away through this portal to hell, that she may be becoming this demon of power sort of entity, and that summoning her back is really going to summon back a demon lord, basically. The same demon lord that the ratlings are worshiping and that I'm somehow getting these powers from.
Well,
Above
I'm
table.
also not sure you're paranoid enough because you're assuming she's not already here somewhere. There's a lot of summoning
also
going on.
very possible. But I think that's a lesser fear. I mean, that would be a good outcome compared to she's a demon lord and I'm going to accidentally summon her back.
No. That's what I'm saying, though. You're assuming that if she's a demon lord, you would have to help summon her back. I'm saying she might be a demon lord and she's already here somewhere. Because if she is the queen of thieves, youch, she got back
Well,
somehow.
no, I'm afraid that she that this is her way of trying to get back. Like she is stuck in another realm and she's trying to get back. Uh, there was a moment when we were in the garden, and I think Amnar was the only one that was actually in the room with me that may have remembered this then or seen it. That when I was interacting with the statue of the family, the statue of Eliza winked at me when I was talking to her.
Good. New thing to worry about.
I'm just saying, I still want to bring her back, but with precautions.
But yeah, so
Figure out a little bit more about what's going on with the demon lord, because yeah,
there are I believe two factions full of clerics who might know a thing or two about demons that you guys have been very actively avoiding.
The problem is that we have so many directions to go when we have to narrow it down, and we have to
Yep.
go with one, and
Yep.
they haven't.
It makes it hard. It makes it hard. And that's part of the fun, I think. I'm sorry if you disagree, but I love it when you guys struggle like this. It's fun.
Well, I think it
I
helps
mean,
that at
when
least
Jupiter Jones was around, he was like doing all the quests that we weren't doing right away.
Yeah, and then you got him to turn into a statue, and now that's not
And so
happening.
now is that going to be a bad thing because some of these other things aren't getting done because we're prioritizing other things? Like, do we
I
kind of
just
need
want to
him working in the background?
I just want to point out that I risked my secret to save his life, and then he managed to get himself turned into a statue. We'll
But yeah,
unpetrify him eventually.
maybe if we remember.
I mean, if he's not roaming around causing problems, that's not the worst thing.
But yeah, now you understand a little bit more why Finch freaked out so much when we ended up killing the queen.
I mean,
That was basically your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think that there is something here about reasonable expectations of what is undoable.
Yeah.
That
And what is
Like that's tough.
what does that assume? I know that Finch never technically got married, but assuming that that were to work out, does that make Finch and Nock brother-in-laws, sort of?
Cousin-in-laws?
he would be
Cousin-in-laws?
he would be let's see. It'd be like one step removed. He would be brother-in-law to
Your sister.
yeah, they'd be matching in-laws. Like,
Yeah.
and then Nock would be a step removed from that.
So Finch is technically your nephew's uncle too.
Assuming a lot of things line up.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll
Yes, so,
we'll come back to this next week, I guess.
Nope, not next week.
Not next week,
First
after
week of December.
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Yeah, first week of December.
And we'll forget it all.
That's all right. When you
Oh,
guys
well.
ask what was it that was talked about, no one has to keep many secrets anymore. You can all just say things. I can just say things. It's a nice feeling. But yeah, sorry, like I said, sorry there wasn't a lot of action, but there was a lot of story and lore reveals, and hopefully that was worth it. So yeah, first week of December, we will come back and you guys will make your way towards the Hooded Lanterns.
All right. Bye, Internet.
Goodbye.